My name is Elaine Merrikin Trimlett Glover, and I've written this book, The Mystery of Operation Alphabet. And I wrote this during lockdown, and I began to do some research into my grandfather, John Thomas Merrikin, who lived in Leicester. Now, first of all, he was a police officer in Leicester, and then at the beginning of the Second World War, he was called up into the Navy Reserve, and he became the first class stoker of HMS Acasta. And then on the 8th of June 1940, the Gneisenau, the Scharnhorst, two Nazi naval warships, blew up Grandad's ship, also HMS Ardent, and also aircraft carrier Glorious. And so first of all, I did a lot of research into my grandfather, and then I began to do research on HMS Acasta, HMS Ardent and HMS Glorious, and finding out lots of different stories about the different servicemen on each ship. And also I did lots of different photographs of servicemen, the boats, the German battleships, and I began to find out what happened, because there should be at least 2 aircraft carriers to a convoy, and also several destroyers, and I wanted to know why HMS Ark Royal, the commander, allowed HMS Glorious, the aircraft carrier, Ardent and Acasta to leave the convoy. Now, there are many reasons why this could have been. Was it Operation Pull, where Prime Minister Winston Churchill wanted mines to be laid near Luleå, which would stop the German battleships from getting the iron ore to provide armament for the ships? Was it because Captain Doyley Hughes of HMS Glorious had a row with John Heath, who was the RAF commander, Arm Air on Glorious, because he had disobeyed orders, and so Captain Doyley Hughes was said to want to court-martial him in the Faroe Islands? Was it because HMS Glorious was short on fuel? Nobody really knows. And also HMS Devonshire was 50 miles away, and apparently they had a garbled message from the Glorious, which later said that it wasn't garbled. And so we were wondering, why didn't the HMS Devonshire go back and collect the 1,531 men who died and the 43 men who survived? And apparently we discovered that HMS Devonshire was carrying King Haakon, and also the Norwegian government, and possibly gold, because Germany had invaded Norway. And it was a terrible disaster in the Second World War, one of the worst naval disasters, that 1,531 men perished. Now, there's all sorts of reasons, and I wanted to bring about people's stories and theories in their own words. In the book, I've also got all the names of those who died and all the names of those who survived. But one thing that we do know, we will never forget those men who died in the Norwegian fjords on the 8th of June 1940. And one of the objects for the book is that Commander Charles Glassford from HMS Acasta and John Barker from HMS Ardent should be recommended for their bravery. And also Nick Carter from HMS Acasta, who was leading seaman, that he will also get recognition because he was the man who torpedoed the Scharnhorst as the Acasta was sinking. And the men were so brave that even the Germans saluted them as these ships were sinking. And so why not buy this wonderful book that gives all these names of those who died? It gives an insight to what could have happened on that day, with lots of pictures, of the ships, the people, and even of the German battleships. And I would really recommend this book so that people who have lost loved ones on those 3 ships would come to understand possibly what happened. And also, one of the objectives is to thank the Glaric Association and to show people the amazing work that they've done as an association, helping people who have survived, families, plaques in Norway, plaques in UK and plaques in Malta. So thank you very much.